Welcome to 5 Star Weekly. The slide continues, but is there an end to the pain in sight? We get into all that and more coming up. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. Welcome to the show, 5 Star fam. I'm AJ, and this is Michael. And yes, unfortunately, another loss on the road. We are piling these up. We will get into that match review, but before we do, let's give some big shouts out to our Patreon fam. Notably Gavin, Jordan, Niall, Andrew, Chris, Nick, and Jeff. Thank you guys so much. But yes, let's get into the match review. And yeah, Soldier Field, it seemed to be draw city between us and Chicago Fire recently, but unfortunately, the way we started off was diabolical, actually, I would say, because absolutely, you should never have let that type of penalty happen. But we'll get into that. It's 2-1 loss, Soldier Field against Chicago Fire, they had been reeling as well. They were winless in 6. Now we traded it off, and now we are winless in 6. So, yeah, fantastic. The virus continues, but it's just kind of one club to the next. And I'm just hoping we're not. I don't think we're facing LA Galaxy this year, but it would have been good to face off to see who's the worst of the worst right now, because it is dire. But anyway, yes, Michael, you weren't able to be on the post-match live fan reactions, so let's have your thoughts.
Yeah, so that was, like you had titled the review episode, unwatchable garbage. I feel that was largely the case with watching it. It was a game in which we looked like we really didn't have a place in. We never really found footing right from the get-go. We conceded a soft goal, which, man, if you have a bingo card, you got to have that one on there, as it happens so often. Alexei Marinchuk got 2 bites of the apple. He was like, hey, just in case you didn't see the first handball, I'll go for the second one. That was, like you said, completely unacceptable. I don't know what he was thinking there. It defies all reasoning to me. And that early on, it just, you can't be making those types of errors that early on in a game, putting you down, game stating yourself once again, the dreaded game state that we're constantly having to deal with. Yeah, that was not a great start, obviously. Team did not rally. Team did not figure it out. They were able to be, for the most part, outstatted, smothered a bit by Chicago, which, you expect the home team to appreciate or enjoy the majority of possession. And so they did, and they were able to kind of pin us back a good amount. We weren't able to find a lot of joy going forward. It was really unfortunate against such a lackluster team. We seem to be, they say there's this term in the EPL, there's the Dr. Spurs thing, right? So if your team's struggling, go see Dr. Spurs, and then you can beat them and get back on the right track, right? So I feel like Atlanta United is a little bit like that right now. I think Scarves and Spikes had that analogy too. Shout out to Sydney. That is an unfortunate thing that I didn't know about, that I think is unfortunately appropriate in describing the way that we seem to always be, like you described it as, the passing the buck of the virus from one to the other. It always seems to be when a team is struggling, go up against Atlanta United and back to winning ways. It's so annoying. You see that stat over and over again when we're playing teams that are struggling. It's like, you talk about LA Galaxy playing us like in a hypothetical situation, a mid-off between the two like terrible teams. I'm sure we would find a way to reverse their trajectory, because that seems to be what we're in the business of doing. So yeah, that would, I almost kind of be worried about playing a team like that.
A little bit, yeah, no, but we may make an Arsenal fan out of you yet. That is those are heartwarming words when you say Dr. Spurs in that context. So,
well, I mean, it's, to be fair, it was Sydney who said that, so I'm just taking his words. But yeah,
fair. It's no, but hey, you brought it up on this podcast, so you know what? I'm happy you did, but because that is at least helping me with a little bit of joy because it has been dire for both Atl United and Arsenal, of course. Yeah, I don't even want to get into that, but that's a different podcast. But anyway, so yes, yeah, the double handball by Alexei Miranchuk is just mind-numbingly, like, I don't even have words at this point why he would. I can't even defend it. There's nothing that you can do, and especially in his form, especially with his standing with the fans. Are you asking to have all of the fans against you? Like, it's just, I don't understand. Like
it's the yips, man. It's gotta be. Yeah. I mean, that's an explanation for why a player is performing significantly worse than they would normally, based on perception of extreme pressure, which is unfortunate because you get a guy who's supposed to be your DP10 from a big team like Atalanta in a serious league. Like, you'd think he's seen European football like at a high level and they've won, and you'd think he could be, pressure resistant, and yet seems like he's kind of not, which is unfortunate. Crumbles. So we had this also of our Uju too. Like, it's these guys just, they kind of fold a little bit under pressure. I mean, I was making a joke about this in the Discord, like, you bring in these guys, you expect them, they don't fold under pressure in high pressure situations in Europe, and then they come to the MLS and fold. Like, it's like, why is our league apparently more pressurized? Like, it's ridiculous to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, he has a bigger role in this team, so I think there is maybe some clarification on maybe why he would in that sense, but it is that it's like, the guy just can't buy himself in the good graces of fans.
I mean, well, let's touch on that for a second, because it's interesting. Like, we've talked about this in terms of the scouting reports before. If you're getting guys who are, if what you're saying is true, are essentially then unproven. They have not been in a situation where they've truly been tested. If they are able to, do well in Europe, but then come here and fold, it's not because the pressure is more here. Of course not. It's just that you were never truly tested. And if that's the case, you need to be able to be better at identifying that in a player before you bring him over here, because you're just going to have a guy who's like, yeah, I did great over there. And so it's like, yeah, but you really weren't pressured. And now that you're here and you're actually feeling the fire now, you folded. We can't have players like that.
Yeah, it's a mentality. It's a... if they have the minerals or not. And I mean, it's clear right now he doesn't have the minerals, and I hope he does. I hope he finds a way.
Sorry, I have to stop you. I just had, like, if anyone knows the video game StarCraft, that's where my mind went to when you said that you don't have enough minerals. Anyway, sorry, that was a tangent. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I don't know what you're talking about, but I know what the game you're talking about, but I don't know the reference. But either way, it's a guy that clearly, at least from a I guess attitude standpoint, a resilience standpoint, a performance standpoint, is leaving a lot to be desired. And I think you have to clock that before he is brought in as a player. Like, we want to have the warriors on this team, not guys who, unfortunately, can't cut the mustard, not only from a performance standpoint, but also, it seems like, from being able to, withstand all of the obstacles that are going to come your way. And I think it's a little bit of this. Players, obviously, from Europe and from other leagues, they look at MLS to a degree like it's an inferior league. And so they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to come here, I'm going to thrive, I'm going to, ball out. And it's, people get a very quick awakening, or, I don't know, like a slap in the face, really, sometimes. That's probably more apt for what actually happens. A rude awakening, yeah. But, so, that in the 14th minute, shouldn't happen. It did. Braguzan, not great at saving penalties, let it in, and it is what it is. It's 1-0 down. It almost looked like it was like, okay, that's murder she wrote. That's are we gonna come back from this? I don't think hopes were very high at all. And obviously, when when we we're trying a little bit. We're trying to make some chances happen. Our first one probably is in the 33rd minute, which, I mean, that's outrageous. Like 30 minutes in, like after like that, 15 minutes later, and you finally there's a little bit of a response. I mean, I don't even know. Like, I listen. We're both Atlanta United fans, and we're all Atlanta United fans. If you're listening to this, probably anyway. I mean, there might be some Orlando fans that are reveling in this pain that we're in, which I have been told there are some. But
Shout
either
out
way,
to you.
yeah, shout out to you. If you're reveling in our pain and drinking in our tears, okay. Yeah, we drank in a lot of your tears for many years. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think we still have some reserves of yours saved up. So.
Yep. Yeah, there was a flood of those. So, but yeah, either way, going down 2-0, like, oh man, it is really rough. And it's And there's this. It's like the fact that we didn't make a change at halftime. Our first change was pretty much around the 75th minute, I believe. Yeah, like 74th minute. Like that's what are we doing? Like, why are we waiting that long? It clearly wasn't working. We weren't looking like we were going to score a goal. We weren't looking like we were going to create any chance. And at least, okay, yeah, we eventually did. But yeah, the lineup, the one that we had seen in training, was pretty much the one that came to fruition, except for Amador for Hernandez. And I mean, I think we pontificated that, yeah, the fluidity might be something that would be interesting, because the 3-man back line, the wing backs pushing up, and a little bit of the fluidity with the attackers, but it was very clear that we just didn't have enough runners, for one. Ronald Hernandez didn't really offer much from the left side. Brooks Lennon, it was pretty much, yeah, we recycle the ball, and then because Lennon is left out there with good reason to basically pump crosses from wide, because, yeah, it's so low percentage that, yes, the opposition's going to be like, yeah, okay, all day. Like, no problem. And that's really what it's...
taller than us, too.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly. Yeah, there's that. And, I mean, well, the taller, but it also, I think, yeah, winning more duels aerially, that's also part of it. It's like where... ELL can win some headers in the box, as we've seen, obviously, but yeah, you got to get good service, and he was starved of anything good. So yeah, it's just more and more of kind of recycle the ball, U-shape, pass it out to where the lone person that's being left unmarked for a reason, and yeah, it's just, I mean, I titled it Unwatchable Garbage because it absolutely, I'm sick of watching it. Like, I am absolutely sick to my stomach of seeing
because
stuff.
At no point do you really feel like Atlanta United is getting back into this game. Yeah. That's the real rub of it, is that, like, when you're watching it, you're like, why am I watching this? Because it doesn't feel like we're gonna come back. It doesn't feel like we have it in us. We got lucky with an own goal, which, by the way, is like either our second or third highest goal scorer on the team right now. That was own goal instead of an actual player. It's so frustrating that you're just, like, for me, just sitting there, I have to continue to watch this, even I know that the game is a foregone conclusion. I don't see this team coming back. I don't know where it's going to come from, and evidently it didn't. And because we give up a second one after the own goal, slightly after the own goal, which is a well-worked goal from Chicago. I mean, if we were going to give up probably one, that's not like the worst thing in the world, is to only really allow one goal from open play away. That's not terrible, but, like, you can't also give up the penalty. This game should have ended a 1-1 draw like we thought it would end it. I think that was my prediction too.
Yeah. Well, I hoped it was 2-1.
Frustrating with that.
But
I said 1-1, but it's just so frustrating when it's like that handballs just shouldn't have happened. It just shouldn't have happened.
Right. And I apologize earlier that I misspoke that it was a 2-0 lead, but at this point it doesn't really even matter. Like, yeah, I think I blacked out. I don't know. Where am I? But yeah, so the basically, yeah, as far as us getting that own goal, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it was well worked, but I think we put it in a dangerous area, which is kind of what you do and what you need to do if you are to kind of conjure up an own goal like this, which, yeah, an own goal is pretty much our second leading scorer right now, and that's embarrassing, like, honestly. I mean, it's like it's a third of the season in, and the very fact that that is the case, man, I just, yeah. And Moranchuk is the guy who did put that ball in. I mean, did it kind of at least salvage his game? I don't think so.
No.
But
No.
like, because I didn't see him with a full head of steam try to, like, basically take this game by whatever metaphor you want to cliche that you want to say, because it really is. It's like, okay, like, if you're a DP player, yes, get us back into the game, win us the game. But it's we're really short in supply of game changers at the moment, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so Brad Guzan, he did make 6 saves in this match. That just is telling how he was getting his goal peppered.
Man of the match for us. This could have been like 3-4-0.
Yeah, because early on there was a homegrown on their team, 19-year-old who side of his right foot almost. It was on goal, and Brad Guzan, made a good save to make sure that didn't happen. There was another one that was just barely out as well. That was a little off target, but either way, I mean, he was getting peppered. And yeah, for a Chicago team that gave up 7 against Nashville, for a Chicago team that was winless in 6, yes, we were on the road. Yes, we're in as bad as form as they are, now worse. It's like, ultimately, I don't know. I really don't know where this is going to end in terms of this pain, like I mentioned earlier. But the real question is, can it stay like this as far as the status quo, where Ronnie Diallo is the coach, where these players, I mean, I think there's probably going to be at least a little bit of a clear out, like I kind of mentioned in the fan reactions. Yeah, some players, but I mean, you have to send out those players and get new players in. Are you going to get 14 players between in and out? No, like, it ain't going to happen. So, that's probably more of the off season, unfortunately. And then Garth Lagerwey. Yeah, like, this mess is on you now. So, okay, is this going to stay as is? Because it can't. And, if the slide continues, if we, God forbid, we're winless in the next month, what do you do? How do you save this season from an optics standpoint? Because, I think the plausibility of even making the playoffs at that point, is super duper low. Like, it's just, you have all these other fixtures coming up. Yeah, we're not going to continue to lose every single match, but, are we going to talk up the ones that we do win and make it seem like, there's so much promise and that we're going to really turn it around when that happens? I mean, I don't know. Michael, you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, this is a complicated topic because it's largely speculation on our part, but I guess I'll throw my 2 cents in. My guess as to what happens is Garth Lagerwey stays. I don't think he gets hatcheted. A lot of people are like, calling for everyone everywhere to be, thrown out. I don't think we're gonna see really much of that. I think Ronnie also stays the entire season, regardless of results. I think, obviously, Chris Henderson stays. why wouldn't he? I think basically everyone stays in terms of the front office. I think that obviously we do move on some players because it really depends on if we can find them homes in the summer transfer window, and hopefully there'll be at least some big pieces moved along that we can then replace, and then that'll inject some spirit into us because there'll be new guys willing to prove themselves and maybe turn things around. Maybe we'll really get to see a little bit more of what Chris Henderson is able to do, his approach about how he gets players. So far it's been, Tagashi and Almiron are good players and they've looked like some of our best this season. So that's a good thing. A lot of people are critical of Miggy because of results and everything, but you can't say that he wouldn't operate very well on a well-playing squad. I think if he is on a top squad, he's going to look like a world beater. I think he's on the perhaps worst squad in the league right now, so even him cannot fix this by himself. So, I think we'll see a lot more players come in that can hopefully begin to right the ship in the summer transfer window. Hopefully that'll be the beginning of that, and then in the off season will be even more so because a lot of contracts are going to come due, and hopefully that'll go a long way into fixing things. Now, a lot of people are going to be frustrated that there seems to be a double standard, right, where Gonzo didn't get, he did worse or he did better, and he was doing better than and like Heinze was doing better than Ronnie at this time. I still think that Garth is looking at Ronnie and saying, I understand this is not your fault.
Yeah, I think
it's more on the player. And
exactly.
So what I think is going to happen is that he's going to leave on Ronnie, and he's going to have to. And optics wise, this is a no-win scenario for Garth. He just has to kind of eat the bullets, because he realizes this is not on Ronnie, this is on the players, and we need to wait until we can get the guys that Ronnie and Chris both are looking towards. Because again, and I have to stress this is still largely a Boca Negra and to a lesser degree Garth Lagerwey roster.
Yeah, and I think there's this with the danger of with as far as Ronnie Dyla and him not having or him giving the rub of the green, I guess, to say it that way, where Gonzalo Pineda, he got a lot of time. Let's be real. And so yes, while his start to the season wasn't as bad as it is now, he had multiple seasons where he was able to languish and get the benefit of the doubt. Gabriel Heinze, he lost the locker room, and so if we only look at things in a vacuum, then great, cool. Only from the record, yes. Coaches should be fired way earlier, but that's not how they were looking at it. That's not how we should look at it, obviously. And so it's like Ronnie Dyla has a lot to prove right now. He is not in any way been the guy that's was advertised, but yes, it is the will he get the players that he wants? Yeah, he has to show some sort of improvement with the players that he does have currently, I think, in order to make it to the summer window. So there is that, I think. Because if, again, we are winless the next month, we have problems. It's Ronnie Dyla, I don't think will be able to last till the window. But it's of opinion. If you think he does, and if you, the viewer, thinks he does, let us know in the comments below, because I'm definitely curious. So let's wrap up the review then, and yeah, the Five Stripes will host the Philly Union on Saturday. And that's at the Benz. But let's get into the news. Very light bit of news because we have a match date that is on Wednesday. And speaking of, that match has been moved from 8:30 to 9 p.m. due to extreme heat, according to Mike Conti. So it will be a little bit later for Atlanta. But yeah, so yeah, just I'm sure everyone's staying up for that match, right? But yeah. I hear the
Unfortunately, we will, and come
yes.
join us in the post-match reaction video on YouTube. Come lament, likely, maybe celebrate if we win, or maybe I would celebrate a draw even.
Yeah.
So come hang out.
Indeed. Yeah, Michael did his best impression of I'm Ron Burgundy, but all right.
Question mark?
Question mark? All right, so here we go. Anyway, that's the news, guys. Really hefty news day this past weekend. But let's get into the match review, or preview then, rather. 9 p.m. Wednesday, Austin FC at Q2 Stadium, 8th place in the Western Conference with a -7 goal difference versus 14th in the Eastern Conference. That's us, with a -9 goal difference. Yes. So yeah, on the outset, it doesn't look like that bad in the sense of like, okay, they're a team that is bleeding goals just as much as we are, in that sense. But yeah, the West, as it always is, not as difficult as the East for some reason. So, but unless you're facing Vancouver Whitecaps, because man, my God. Just go figure. But and a lot of fans are like, why can't we be them? It's a good question. It's a very good question. But yes, last match they played to a 2-1 loss versus FC Cincy, and we didn't play Austin FC for a really long time. Pretty much our last time we played against them was 2022. Their inaugural season, I believe. And so, yes, on July 10th, and that was a 3-0 loss, unfortunately. So
Yeah, we got bludgeoned.
Yes, it was that. And yes, unfortunately, they have brought in our old pal, Brandon Vasquez. And so, when you have a striker that used to be on your team, and yeah, maybe is in a little bit of a slump. Yeah, slump is maybe harsh, but either way, what I'm alluding to is that, if there's a team and there's a game to break your duck, it's against your former club. So, Brandon Vasquez, hopefully, mercy on your former club. But, yes, they have a couple of...
He won't.
Yeah,
He
probably
won't.
not. Probably not.
He's going to score. He's going to link up with John Gallagher, and it's just going to be... They're gonna be a tour de force, and we're just gonna get rocked by that. It's of course that's how it's gonna go. It's always like the most negative narrative is the one that is always selected apparently for us. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think the positive is that, and not really a positive. I wish him the best. He's a longtime follower of Atl Utd, but John Gallagher is unfortunately injured. So.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
We're lucky there, I guess.
Yes. So yeah, there will not be service from right back from him feeding Brandon Vasquez. But yes, but they have two proven goal scorers in kind of their primes in Vasquez and Murto Uzuni, and basically as well, they've got a lot of pieces that pretty much departed in the offseason. Sebastian Giroussi, Alex Ring, Johan Valencia, Jussi Zardes as well, of course. But yeah, key signings from the offseason: Nicholas Dubrsarski. After my screen continues to... There we go. Basar Sabovic, Eli Sanchez, Murto Uzuni, like I mentioned, and of course Vasquez. These guys are revamped. They're looking a little bit better than they were last season. Last season they finished in 10th. They're now 8th. But as far as where the pundits have them, they have them kind of a little bit high in a sense. Basically Osvaldo Alonso has them finishing 5th, but largely have them finishing about where they are, which is about 9th. As low as...
Ozzy is insane with his predictions, by the way, this season. He is all over the place.
Yeah, he is. But Dax also has them finishing 4th, so there is that as well. His former running mate in Bradley Wright Phillips has Austin finishing 14th, so he is the least high on Austin. But yeah, Nico Estevez has them playing relatively better football. They are, at least from a defending standpoint, from protecting a lead, they are better at it than they have in the past. They are pretty good at defending set pieces. But yeah, as far as them on a whole, pretty weak as far as, yeah, if they have individual errors, it seems like you can capitalize there. They're not very good at finishing their scoring chances, especially with, the 2 proven goal scorers. It's, interesting. Yeah, and they're a cross-heavy team, just like us. Route 1 a little bit, and yeah, they do like to take a lot of shots, but yeah, it's quite obvious that they're missing something from the clinical department. So, but into the match facts. So, Austin, they've lost their last 3 matches, so naturally, we will help them break that duck. But
Dr. Atlanta's making house calls in Austin.
Man, damn. But yeah, and then Austin have also conceded at least 2 goals in their last 3 matches. So also very interesting if we can score here or not. It's our best chance of any. But unfortunately, like we mentioned, Atlanta are winless and were our last 6. So and our away record this season, we have 1 draw and 4 losses. So lots of hope. Lots of hope. Yeah, I mean, it's as far as the unavailable players, Pedro Amador, he was out with an adductor last match. I imagine he would be questionable for a midweek match this soon, so probably Ronald Hernandez is going to be in his stead. But Stan Gregerson as well, quadriceps, probably a little early for him, even though he was in some of the training, individual training anyway. So looks like he's on his way back. But yeah, let's get into that predicted starting 11 here. And I think, first off, my question for you is, will you persist with what we trotted out there last match, or are you going to change?
So, based on what I heard with the post-match press conference with Ronnie, he said he was forced to change the formation and stuff because of the fact that I think Moranchuk giving off that soft goal and game stating us. I think if that never happened, he probably would maintain that 3 in the back style, And so I think perhaps we'll see it again, because I think what our theory, at least this was my theory, watching the training and seeing what was going on, I had posited that they're getting ready for this long road trip, right? Mm-hmm. And the way to do that is to learn to play more defensively. And with fluidity. So hopefully that was, what they had eyes on when preparing in their training, and, what they did with the last game. And why stop that now? If this is what your strategy is for getting by with perhaps maybe nicking some points away on these long road trips, maybe, that's what you need to do. And so I think that should be, you need practice to get better at it. Mm-hmm. So I would say keep doing it. That would be my guess. So I think we would see the same kind of idea going forward.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree for the most part. I think the personnel in there will need to change. So I think that's the difficulty here. And yeah, Bragazan obviously between the sticks, even though it is one of those things like, man, Josh Cohen, like, even though like Bragazan, we've been losing match after match, Cohen can't even get into the, into the squad, into the 11 at all. I think it's pretty telling that, Diallo doesn't really think that high of him, and doesn't think that he can, change it, do something different than what Bragazan can do, at least from a, ability standpoint. And I agree. I think, unfortunately, on the ball, he hasn't proven himself. So, and it's a little frail. So, yeah, Bragazan, would you change it?
No, I think he brings, everyone controversial about the leadership thing with him, but I think that Ronnie probably identifies him as one of the few sources of any kind of leadership that this team could potentially have. So, I wouldn't take that away. I think the team would be even more rudderless without him.
Yeah. Indeed. But yeah, into the three-man back line, which I think, we're going to stick with that. So, would you change it? Edwards, Williams, Abram?
I mean, I think I would put Noah instead of Edwards. Edwards didn't have a great game last game, so I would maybe switch that out. But I wouldn't, be surprised if Edwards came out again. But the other two, I think, stay the same.
Yeah, I like that shout. Yeah, it's either Cobb or, Edwards for me as well in that position. Because, you did see him pretty much kind of be that, either right center back or kind of right back a little bit. He was definitely closer to the end line, or the byline rather, and so it's that. But I would probably, for me personally, Edwards, Williams, and Abram into the wing backs. Who would you have?
Depending on availability, I think you'll probably see Hernandez and Lennon. If Pedro's good to go, I would put him in because he's better. And I think, you can get a lot of scoring opportunities out of that guy. So hopefully, and again, it's not having roster consistency is a big issue. If we can get him back, put him in so we can get some consistency again going.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating that we don't have that, but Stien goes out, Pedro goes out. It's just kind of a revolving door sometimes.
Yeah, these guys can't stay healthy. I agree. Yeah, it's probably going to be Hernandez because Amador is unhealthy. We'd obviously prefer Amador. But Hernandez, it's from that standpoint, it would be probably more him, because he is right-footed. I would, think that he'd be tucking in a little bit more, just because of kind of naturally where he's picking up the ball. And I actually think that we should start Saba over Lennon because I think for it being a wingback position, and especially, between the two of them, you don't really have a massive difference in terms of defensive ability. There is obviously Lennon a little bit more practice as one, but Saba being kind of unfavored in some kind of respects. But I think the net positive of going against a defense that is a little bit leaky with a player that's a lot more apt to create something for you, he can still cross just as well as Lennon, but also do a lot of different other things. I would hope that we start Saba here, but
That's interesting. I would support that. Brooks hasn't really given me much to be I hope to hold on to. Saba at that position, it would be interesting to see. I wouldn't hate it. Again, it's the tinkering that I want to see. I want to see Ronnie try and fix the thing. So if he can, try and tinker along the edges, go for it. And if it doesn't work, at least you tried something new.
Right. And especially Saba is hardworking. It's not like he's ever been a player that dogs it. So, it is that. I think, having somebody there that can clearly create a lot more chances than Lennon from a quality standpoint.
Yeah.
I think
and people have been asking for Saba because he hasn't been in the starting lineup for a while. Outside of one time, it's largely been him falling out of favor. So this would be, if he was chosen for this, I think fans would be happy about that.
Right. So, there, and then into midfield, it depends on how you want to roll it out there. What would you do?
I probably would do, Mayumba didn't super impress last game, but neither did Cleek. I think, maybe why not put out Mayumba and Fortune in the double pivot? Maybe that'll work. Who knows? It may not. But I wouldn't mind seeing that in the midfield because Click hasn't impressed. And again, it's that going back to tinkering. If something is just not working, figure it out. Try something new.
Yep. I think it's that. I think we need more mobility. I think we need more, just athleticism as well. support from that end as well. I mean, I think, yeah, Fortune Muyumba as a double pivot is what I want here to kind of give us more
and
energy.
Click's eventually going to get like yellow card suspension if he keeps up this pace too. So.
This is true. This is very true. Well, Emmanuel Atl as well. But yeah, and so yeah, Moranchuk probably at the 10 position for both of us.
Yeah, I mean, unless Ronnie does something crazy, but yeah, I guess that's where he would probably go.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we have to start him, that's the thing. It's like that's the thing. Like, he created that chance that got us back into the game. He did give away the penalty, and then largely didn't really do too much in the match. Yeah, I think, you know, if there was a game to sit him, it'd probably be this one. But does Tyler do it?
This could also be like a teaching moment for Ronnie to be like, you know, this is your chance, Moranchuk, to right the wrongs of last game, prove to me that wasn't you last game, you know, like prove to us that that's the case. And hopefully he takes that as a challenge and wants to do it. And we see someone who really looks like they got a fire under their butt, hopefully. If not, then yeah, I'm like, bench the guy the game after if you don't see an improvement from this.
Right. And so, yeah, it's a thing of player management at this point for sure. And I think, yeah, I'm really keen on seeing what Dyla does as far as that, because, yeah, he's one of the highest paid players on the team, a DP, a player that is expected to perform and produce. And yes, he's kind of on both ends, putting you just under the sword. So it's just like, yeah, I mean, this is a do or die moment as far as how you manage the player. So, but yeah. And then probably the two-man up top type of striker tandem that we had last match in Almiron and Emmanuel Atl. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. So
God, I want that guy to score a goal. He looks like he's getting extremely frustrated. That's not good. And
that's why he's getting yellow cards, because, yeah, he's, you know, that's usually what happens when the striker's frustrated. They come back, it's a little bit of a rash tackle, or, you know, it's just par for kind of what usually happens. But yeah, so okay, let's get to the score prediction then. What do you got?
I think it's probably 2-0. I don't see us scoring against this team. Even though they are leaky, but unless like they're able to figure something out, and they have like there was Sydney did mention in terms of the press conference being delayed after last game, seems to suggest that there was a bit of a hairdryer moment going on after the game, or some kind of come to Jesus, some kind of heart-to-heart talk, some kind of team meeting of sorts. Perhaps that could indicate a bit of a turnaround mentality wise, but we're yet to see that. I don't think that's likely that they just can flip a switch, but I mean, it's when you have a situation like that where there seems to be some kind of activity from the players and the coach, maybe something can change. And if that is the case, then perhaps we will score one or two, and it will probably end up being a draw. But I think this is not the game where we turn things around, so I think we're going to lose.
Yeah. Somehow, I don't know. I don't know what I'm smoking. I'm not smoking anything, but yeah, I'm thinking it's a 2-2 draw. Like, I don't like it's the leaky defense of Austin. So it's at least a result, and I think
if we can score against Chicago, I'm like, I don't have a lot of hope for how these goals are gonna come through. So
yeah, I'm thinking because of the inclusion of Saba and having those 4 attackers in there, hopefully there's just more goals in this lineup. And but yeah, do we have speaking of minerals, to make it a 3 points? Probably not, unfortunately. And yeah, so yeah, it is the winless streak continues, unfortunately, I think, from either of us. But what do you guys think? Let us know in those comments below. But guys, that pretty much does it for the episode, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is, it's a long road up the standings, or, you know, the table, if you, however you want to call it. But do you feel like we can streak into the playoffs like last time? Let us know in those comments below. Looking forward to what you have to say. But guys,
and if you want to see AJ play a match of StarCraft, post in the comments as well.
I feel like, oh yeah, I did say Star Fox, didn't I? No, it was StarCraft that you said. Yeah, way different games. But either way, yeah, no, I don't think anybody wants to see that. I've never played that game, so it's just like, you want to see me fumble through a game? I mean, okay. You know, if
There
you
was
guys
an
want to see
appetite for that with EAFC, so you never know.
Yeah, but guys, yeah, remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's Michael. I'm AJ. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.